So in today's session, we are going to discuss about display business rules. Okay. So we understand about before business rules. Once data submitted, first before business rules will run, then data gets stored into the database. Then once the data gets stored into the database, and after business rule and async business rule will run. After business rule runs synchronously and asynchronous business rule run asynchronously. In the after business rule, you have current object and previous object. And in the async business rule, you have only current object available. So it is good practice to use asynchronous business rule. Okay. So it is always recommended to use asynchronous business rule when you are using only current values. If you are using current values and previous values both, it is mandated to go for after business rule. And if you go for after business rule, you can use current object and previous object, but it runs asynchronously, right? We have to make it running asynchronously by using script action concept. Okay. So before business rules are to update the current record, after business rules and async business rules to update the records and to create the records and another tables. Okay. So display business rules. Guys, display business rule will run every time when the form is loaded. If you open the finance case form, okay. So if you open the finance case form, okay. So every time when I refresh the form, the display business rules will run. Every time when I refresh the form, the display business rules will run. So I told you onload client script also will run. Every time when the form is loaded, onload client script also will run. But onload client script is a client side script. But display business rule is a server side script. Remember, I told you script execution order. First query business rules will run, then display business rules will run, then onload client script will run, then onload UI policy will run. Something like that, script execution will run. So first display business rules will run. After running the display business rules, client scripts will run. Getting my point? Guys, remember to avoid the glide ajax calls. Glide ajax calls, we call it as lookup, server lookup. So instead of we call glide ajax call, we call server lookup. Server lookup. Instead of server lookup, instead of glide ajax calls. See here, you are calling someone. Instead of you calling someone, if he himself directly is coming. That is time saving, right? Here, glide ajax is calling server through the display business tool. Server itself is coming. Getting my point? I asked Ravindra to come to movie. Instead, Ravindra himself will come to me, sir, we'll go to movie. Something like that, if Ravindra asks, that is actually time saving, right? So here, this display business tool will avoid server lookup. This will avoid glide ajax calls. Okay. Getting my point? I'll show you one example so that you will be able to understand better. Okay. If the current logged in user belongs to one particular group, okay, I'm going to user administration. I'm going to the group. Current logged in user is member of this group. Current logged in user is member of this group? No. Uday Gadiparthi is the current logged in user. Current logged in user is not member of this particular group. If the current logged in user is member of this group, I have to show these three fields. If the current logged in user is not member of the group, I have to hide these fields. Okay. So I can achieve this requirement. I can achieve this requirement using glide Ajax. Without glide Ajax also we can achieve it. Using glide Ajax we can achieve it. Without glide Ajax also we can achieve it. I'll tell you. Okay. So first of all, how to achieve it using glide Ajax? Glide Ajax is a server lookup. We are calling the server. We are calling the server. Instead of the second scenario is we don't call server. Server directly will come using display business rules. Okay. So first of all, I am going to create a script include, guys. We'll do one thing. There is already a script include, right? Finance case utilities. I'm going to create a method inside the script include. Is our BI member? Okay. Using glide system API, you can check if the current logged in user is member of the group or not. GS dot get user dot is member of. Okay. The group name you can take. Okay. So it will give you true or false. True or false. So that one I am actually passing in the written line. Just one line is fine. In the written line, I am passing true or false. Okay. Save this one. So I am going to create a on load client script here. On the form load, if the current logged in user is member of the group, then I have to show these three fields. If the current logged in user is not member of the group, I have to hide these three fields. Okay. On the form load, right click configure client scripts. Okay. Glide Ajax, script include name, the method name. Don't have to pass any parameter here. Okay. The response equal to true. Okay. G underscore form dot set display comma true. Okay. Okay. So using Glide Ajax, we are making a server call, server lookup. So current logged in user is not member of the group, right? So ideally, these three fields should be hidden now. So onload client script will run. These three fields are hidden. So once I add the current logged in user to the group, fields will be shown. So the current logged in user is member of the group page. Now these three fields will be shown now. Now those three fields are actually appearing. Okay. Now these three fields are actually hidden. What we have done, we have actually created an onload client script. Through the onload client script, we are calling the script include, we are calling the method inside the script include. We are getting the response. If the response is true, if the current logged in user is member of the group, we are actually showing these three fields. Else we are hiding those three fields. So what we did, we made a server call using Glide Ajax. Okay. So this is actually what we do. Okay. Now, instead of we calling them, they themselves are coming. So I am going to ignore about the script include. Okay. The script include, ignore about this one. I am going to create a display business rule. Okay. Guys, remember, whenever the form is loaded, first display business rules will run. After running the display business rules, all load client scripts will run. Okay. So I am going to write a display business rule, right click configure business rules. Okay. He is Power BI member. I am creating a display business rule. Okay, no condition. So guys, gs dot get user dot is member of the group name. Same logic that we write in the script include, same script I am writing in the display business tool, guys. It will give true or false, right? Instead of writing in the written line, there is a scratch pad object, g underscore scratch pad object. That scratch pad object is only available in the display business rules. G underscore scratch pad. Okay. G underscore scratch pad dot. Okay. Is PB member is equal to. So this is a scratch pad object. This is a variable name. It can be any name. This is ServiceNow provided scratch pad variable. G underscore scratch pad dot variable name. This is a variable name. You can define any name. In this variable, you are storing true or false Boolean value. Okay. So once the form is loaded, first this display business rule will run. After that, this onload client script will run. So in the onload client script, okay, you can directly access the scratchpad variable. You can directly access the scratchpad variable. Equal to true. So current logged in user is member of the group, right? Not member of the group, right? So when I refresh this form, the fields should be hidden. The fields are hidden now. If I add the member to the group, okay, getting my point, right? I am going to refresh the form. Now the current logged in user is member of the group. So instead of string, we can use directly Boolean value. Okay. Now the current logged in user is part of the group, right? Then field should be visible. Now the fields are visible. So here, guys, I am using earlier. I was using string true. Now I am using Boolean true. If it is there in the single quotes, that is a string true. If that is not there in the single quotes, that is a Boolean true. Okay. So current logged in user is not member of the group. When I refresh this one, it should actually hide the fields. Earlier, what we have done, we called it. We called the script. Now we didn't call the script. Script itself is sending the values. First, whenever you refresh the form, first this display business rule will run. And in the display business rule, in the scratchpad variable, it will hold a true or false value. So that scratchpad variable value you can access here in the onload client script. If it is true, you will show the fields. If it is false, you will hide the fields. You understand my point? This scratchpad variable is only available in the display business rule. You can't access this scratchpad variable, the scratchpad object in the before business rules, after business rules, and async business rules. Only in the display business rules, this object is available. This object you can access in the client side as well. So you have actually used the scratchpad dot variable name is equal to, here you are storing true or false value. And you are actually accessing the same scratchpad variable in the onload client script as well. Got it, right? So what we did here, we avoided the server lookup. We avoided the server call. We avoided the glide Ajax. Got it, right? Guys, there are 4 ways we can get a server side values to client side. There are 4 ways. This question will be asked in every interview, guys. One is using G underscore form dot reference. The get reference, we have synchronous and asynchronous. Okay. Glide Ajax. In the Glide Ajax, we have synchronous, synchronous. G underscore scratch pad. Display business rules. To the display business rules, you can get the values from server to client using scratch pad object. Okay. The fourth way is actually, guys, remember, even though glide record is a server side API, even though the glide record is a server side API, you can write glide record in the client side as well, but it is not a good practice. So this is a client script, right? Even though this is a client script, you can write glide record here. Okay. You can write glide record here. Okay. If the record is there in the group member table with the Power BI group, if the current logged in user has any one record, then it will actually show the fields. So you can write a glide record also in the client side scripts, but it is not a good practice, guys. Even though glide record is a server side API, you can use it in the client side, but it is not good practice to use glide record in the client side. So you can write glide record also in the client side. Not good practice. These are the four ways where we can actually values from server to client. One is using G underscore form dot get reference, synchronous call, asynchronous call. If you use synchronous call, it will cause a performance issue. If you use asynchronous call, it will get the total user record object. That is where you will go for Glide Ajax. In the Glide Ajax, you have synchronous calls and asynchronous calls. So Glide Ajax, what it does, Glide Ajax will make a server call from client side. It will call the script include, it will call the method inside the script include. It can pass the parameters. It can get the response from the script include. We have synchronous call and asynchronous call. So this will not actually get the total object. It will get only required values in a synchronous way and asynchronous way. The third one is scratchpad object. Scratchpad is actually used in the display business rule, which will actually directly get the values to the client side because display business rules run first. After running the display business rules, it will store the values in the scratchpad. Then it will pass values to the onload client script. Okay. This is very important, guys. Okay. Clear, right? Okay. So it is actually one way to use display business rules, guys. Display business rules through the display business rules we can avoid server lookups. Server lookups means glide Ajax calls. Through the display business rule, we can avoid server calls. Through using glide Ajax, we can directly store the values in the scratchpad variable. Those scratchpad variables you can access in the client scripts. Okay. So you don't have to use scratchpad variables. You don't when you don't have to pass values to the client side. Only when you have to pass the values to the client side, you can use scratchpad variables. Okay. Got it, right? So here guys, I am going to open the change request form. I am opening the change request, or else we'll do one thing. We open the already created change requests. Okay. So here you can see change task guys. You can see change task tab. If you click on new here, what is the change number? 40007, right? This change number will be automatically populated here. This change number is automatically populated here. Got it, right? See, if you open the change request from the if you open the change task from the change request, if you open the change task from the change request, number is automatically populated. If you directly open the change task, number will not be populated, guys. Okay. If I directly open the change task form, number is not populated here. Number is not populated here. Got it, right? When I open the change task, change number is automatically populated. Okay. Got it, right? So what is my requirement is this change request has reference values, right? Like short description. Okay, this change short description should come to change task short description. Change description should come to change task description. Change assignment should come to change task assignment group. So guys, first of all, whenever I open this form is getting loaded or not. See, observe this one closely. Whenever the change task form is opened, form is loaded or not. The form is loaded, right? Once the form is loaded, display business rule will run or not. I am going to write a display business rule on the change task form. Right click, configure, go to business rule. Okay. Do you remember the dot walking concept? Hmm? Do you remember the dot walking concept? I am going to dot walk this particular field. I am going to, this is a reference field, right? I can dot walk this particular field. Current dot assignment group is equal to current dot change request dot assignment group. Or description. Configuration item. Okay. So now you guys can understand this one. I am opening a change request. Okay. So in the change request, open the change task. As soon as I open the change task, first change number will be populated. Then display business rule will run. Display business rule. In the display business rule, we are actually populating the change task, assignment group, short description as change request, assignment group, short description, configuration item. You can see here. See, change configuration item is automatically populated. Change assignment group is automatically populated. Change short description is automatically populated here. What I did, first of all, the display business rule will run first. I have created a display business rule on the change task. Okay. So whenever the form is loaded, whenever the form is opened, first this number will be populated. Then display business rule will run. The display business, using display business rule, I am using dot walking here. You can see this is called dot walking, guys. Okay, current dot change request dot assignment group. This is called dot walking. Okay. So configuration item, short description, and assignment group I populated automatically from this particular change request by dot walking through the display business rule. You got it right? Okay. So if you have to populate the change request values in the change task fields, you can use display business rule and you can dot walk and you can populate it automatically. Okay. Hope you guys are clear. Everybody is clear, right? Okay. Now we will understand about query business rules, guys. So guys, query business rules run first. Whenever you open the record, whenever you open the form, first query business rules will run. Then display business rule will run. Then onload client script, then onload UI policy, then on change client script, then on change UI policy. First query business rules will run. I'll show you. So you have, I am going to open the change request list, guys. Underscore request dot list. So when I open the change request list, you are able to see all the change requests, right? First, when you open the change request list or when you open the change request record, when you open the change request form, first display business rule will run. Sorry, not display business rule, query business rule will run. So Uday, you told me only there are 4 types of business rules, right? There are only 4 types of business rules, right? Then what is this query business rule? Query business rule is nothing but query operation. Okay. So here I am going to write a query business rule on the change request table. Okay. Yes. I am going to create a query business rule in the change request table, guys. Okay. It's advanced checkbox. So here you can see there is a query operation. You check the checkbox that is called query business rule. So always remember, it should be always before query business rules. Before query business rules. Okay. So I am actually keeping a condition here. I am adding a condition here. Front dot add query. Front dot add query. Only active change requests will be visible to everyone. Before querying, before you open the list, right, it will see if there is any inactive record. It won't show inactive records. It will show only active records. So I'm going to open the change requests. How many change requests are there now? 122, right? When I refresh this one, query business tool will run. It will show only active change requests. 100 are only 100 we are able to see. Remaining 22 are inactive change requests. So we are not able to see inactive change requests. So let us open this one. Let us open this one. I am going to close this change request. So once I close this change request won't be visible to me. Okay. So once I close this change request, it won't be visible to me. You can see here. It will show a record not found. Because query business rule is query business rule is running. Query business rule, in the query business rule, what is the logic we write? Where is the business rule? So what is the logic that we write? It should show only active records. If it is an inactive record, it will not show. Let me deactivate this one. If I deactivate this one, it will show all change requests. We are able to see 122. Only admins should be able to see all records. Non-admins should be able to see only active records. Okay, I am going to write the condition. Okay, we'll do one thing. If he is not an admin, should see only active records. Not admin, not symbol I have used. If he is not an admin, should see only active records. So as I am an admin, I am able to see this closed record. Okay, as I am an admin, I am able to see this particular, all the records I am able to see, 122. I am going to log in as non-admin. So non-admin, who is non-admin here? Will log in as Ajay Kumar. Ajay Kumar will be able to see only, Ajay Kumar should be able to see only, so he doesn't have permission to change request at all. So what we have done, we have created a before query business rule. If he is an admin, he will be able to see all records. If he is not an admin, he will be able to see only 120 record, 100 records, active records. You go to the users. To open one user. I am taking Priyanka as an example. I am granting Priyanka to ITIL role, not admin role. Okay. If I impersonate as Priyanka, Priyanka user account is inactive. If you see, Priyanka is able to see 122. Why is she able to see 122? She is able to see closed records as well. She is not supposed to see that. Must be active, right? So Priyanka is not an admin, right? She should be able to see only 100. So 99 are there because 99 active records are there. So guys, first of all, in ServiceNow, whenever you open a form or list, first query business rules will run, then display business rules will run, then onload client script, then onload UI policy, then on change client script, on change UI policy, then on submit client scripts, then you client side UI actions, then server side UI action. Okay. So in the query business rules, you can write the conditions using current.add query, current.add encoded query, current.add null query, add not null query. Okay. Current.add active query, add inactive query. Add inactive query. Okay. Add null query, add not null query, add encoded query. Likewise, you can use current.add query to restrict the data permission using before query business rules. Got it right? So tomorrow we'll be discussing scheduled jobs topic, guys. Okay. Any questions from anyone, guys? Any questions from anyone?
Hi, Uday.
Hi, Raj.
Uday, I'm facing one problem with the UI pages. I'm not able to do anything with the button basically on the UI page.
Show me.
So
You can share your screen.
yeah. Can you give me the permission?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, I'm just trying with the UI page itself. Try it here. So it should basically call the function when we click on the button, right? But it's not. Nothing is happening. So the
Which
page.
button? Yeah. Once you click on submit, right?
Yeah. So this is doing nothing actually.
Go back to the UI page. Scroll down. So you did write some incorrect script here.
Okay.
In the client script gel note, you close the parenthesis here. You remove that parenthesis at the remove after the value you used parenthesis, right? Remove that.
Uh-huh.
Then it should work.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Any questions from anyone, guys? How is it going? How is it going, everyone?
For me, it's going good right till now. I'm a little behind with the practice due to some issues at home. Otherwise, it's going good.
Okay, great. Yes.